Vaughan Jog Vlog.
Well, the boys are back in town on Amazon Prime Video. Last summer's, we could call it breakout new streaming series, returns. Today we received the first 3 episodes of the season. More on that later. I mostly enjoyed season 1 of The Boys, and thus far season 2 offers more. The effects are as good as you see in movies. They even start the season with a Rolling Stones song, which wouldn't be cheap, and The Boys looks as theatrical release as any series streaming could possibly hope for. It's, in my opinion, better, with precious little dead weight. And if you enjoyed season 1, check it out before proceeding further with this video, which I may have to title review, because that's required of YouTube's search. So here's my dissection of the first 3 episodes. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's catch up with the characters of Vought Corporation's top superhero team, the Seven. We start with Translucent's funeral. His demise is spun and pinned on a super terrorist who will be offed by poor man's Snake Eyes. Translucent's demise opens a spot in the Seven's roster, which is tackled in the most contemporary corporate way possible, totally making a mockery of appealing to millennials. Ultimately, the newest member is Stormfront, played by Aya Cash. Am I saying that wrong? She appears to be like a short, white take on X-Men's Storm. We see her generate lightning, but no other weather-related phenomena just yet. But she does have enhanced strength and plus 10 sass. From the onset, she's picking apart the status quo, standing up for women, and unapologetically brash. Queen Maeve visits her ex-girlfriend in the hospital with the looming threats that if Homelander finds out she's a lesbian, he'll melt faces. A-Train awakes from a coma with uneasiness around Starlight. We get glimpses of him struggling to maintain his superpower of speed, but I have to wonder, why does he continue to need treatments when other heroes don't? The Deep continues his downward spiral, eventually getting help from some group that might be a cult, while Patton Oswalt voices his gills during a drug trip. Starlight has a new series, Citizen Starlight, coming to fictional ABC this fall, and the song she sang at Translucent's funeral can be found on Vodify. Lastly, Homelander, the super douche, plays up his milk fixation and tries to be a father for his soup son, doing the usual things like playing catch, threatening mom, and telling his kid to abuse his powers. We do get a scene with some pushback, so maybe the way to defeat Homelander is with his kid. As for the boys, they're just still doing their thing in hiding. At the end of season 1, Butcher returns, having been dropped off after Homelander gave him a tour of hell in which his wife is raising Homelander's kid. Butcher tries to jot down what information he had of their suburb location, which appears to be a Truman Show-esque fortress, but now he's extra on the run, wanted for the death of Back to the Future 2's second Jennifer. Otherwise, the boys themselves are neglected. Mother's Milk is building a dollhouse. Frenchie is here. Huey has a relationship struggle with Starlight because that's the only direction things can go when characters hook up early. However, the female encounters her brother, Kenji, who is a soup. His powers seem to be telekinesis, but require his hands to wave about. He flees the boys, but she knocks some sense into him. Captured and bound, they take him on a boat because that'll set up an action sequence for the Deep. Starlight continues working with Huey to expose the Seven, blackmailing an old acquaintance to provide her with a sample of Compound V, the soup-making wonder drug, to leak to the press. Surprisingly, this goes down pretty quick this season. The news goes public that soups are made, not born, leading to Giancarlo Esposito, this season's face for the Vought Corporation, to send the team after the super terrorist brother of the female. I have to wonder how the Deep got there first. Wasn't he stationed in the Midwest? His Shark Brigade comes after the boys and he rides a sperm whale, which gets punctured, continuing the ocean mammal comical death theme. And how does the rest of the Seven travel? Do they group hug and Homelander lifts and flies them in? During a tunnel chase, Starlight encounters Huey, but is forced by Homelander to kill him. Kenji intervenes, then flees to the surface with his sister giving chase. They're attacked by Stormfront, who dishes out the lightning, sending them into an apartment complex, and you're thinking, okay, we have a fight, but things take a turn as Stormfront maliciously kills the black residents. She gets the drop on Kenji, compound fractures his wrists, and snaps his neck while giving a derogatory kill line. Yep, the true colors of Stormfront are shown. But behind the scenes, she's the new darling, member of the Seven. This time, instead of an all-at-once drop of Season 2, Prime Video has released the first 3 episodes with a new hour coming each of the next 5 Fridays, culminating in an 8-episode season. Now look, I review a great many things, and I feel I must say this every time when it comes to a streaming series. But this video is only titled Review because that's the only sensible way to get anyone to watch it. A series is an ongoing venture, and you can't even think of this as a review of Season 2, which isn't even out yet. I don't provide a score for any of my rantings on a series, but you know what? I prefer this trickle delivery over the all-at-once drop. It gives you something to look forward to each week. Not that I'm necessarily planning to do more videos on the season, unless this one's a hit, but the show is no longer irrelevant after opening weekend. This way, there's something to talk about for the next 5 weeks. And besides, humans are not designed to binge an entire season in a night. It's impossible to retain and digest the information. I appreciate the breathing room. That said, revealing Stormfront's true nature could have been made more impactful had Amazon delivered only 1 episode today. Over a couple of weeks, viewers could get behind this new mouthy member of the Seven, then get smacked the other direction and feel betrayed. So, what do you think of Season 2 of The Boys thus far? Does it suck? Let me know in the comments below.
You just watched a video from my son. He's about 40 and lives in my basement, ladies. So subscribe her and notify the bell for ringing. Okay, I said what you wanted me to say. Now do the goddamn dishes!